Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into the story of one of history's most iconic and misunderstood figures. A man who started with nothing. An outcast left for dead on the harsh Mongolian steppes. And rose to forge the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever seen. This is the incredible story of Genghis Khan. Our story begins not with a mighty conqueror, but with a boy named Temujin, born around 1162. His world was the vast and forgiving landscape of Mongolia, a land of warring tribes and constant conflict. His father, Yasuge, was a minor clan chief, but his life was cut short when he was poisoned by a rival tribe. This single act plunged young Temujin and his family into a brutal reality. Their own clan, fearing the burden of a leaderless family, abandoned them. They cast out a mother and her young children, leaving them to fend for themselves in the wilderness. For most, this would have been a death sentence. But for Temujin, it became a crucible. He learned to hunt, to survive, to be resilient. He learned the bitter taste of betrayal and the fierce loyalty of family. These early years were filled with hardship. He was captured and enslaved by the very clan that had abandoned him, forced to wear a wooden collar, a symbol of utter humiliation. But even in chains, the fire within him never died. He managed a daring escape, a feat that began to build his reputation as someone with extraordinary will and cunning. As he grew into a young man, Temujin started to gather followers. He wasn't a prince born into power, he was a leader who earned it. He attracted people through his charisma, his strategic mind, and his unwavering sense of justice. One of his core principles was meritocracy. In a world defined by noble birth and aristocracy, Temujin promoted his generals based on skill and loyalty, not their bloodline. This revolutionary idea drew the best and brightest warriors to his side, regardless of their background. A pivotal moment in his rise was the kidnapping of his new wife, Art. Instead of accepting this as his fate, Temujin saw it as a challenge. He sought help from his childhood friend and blood brother, Jamuka, and a powerful tribal leader named Togrul. Together, they launched a successful rescue mission. This victory wasn't just personal, it was a powerful statement. It announced Temujin's arrival as a formidable leader on the steppe, someone who protected his own and punished his enemies. However, his friendship with Jamuka, a man who believed in the traditional aristocratic system, began to fray. Their differing ideologies, Temujin's meritocracy versus Jamuka's aristocracy, put them on a collision course. The once blood brothers became arch rivals. Their conflict escalating into a full-blown war for control of the Mongol tribes. It was a long and arduous struggle, but through brilliant military tactics and an unmatched ability to inspire his soldiers, Temujin emerged victorious. By 1206, he had achieved the impossible. He had united all the warring, nomadic tribes of the Mongolian plateau. Something no one had ever done before. At a great assembly, a Kurultai, he was proclaimed the universal ruler, the Genghis Khan. This wasn't just a new title, it was the birth of a new nation. He gave his people a written legal code, the Yasa, which promoted peace within the empire, outlawed kidnapping women, and even established concepts of religious freedom and diplomatic immunity. He created a unified identity for the Mongols. With the steppes united behind him, Genghis Khan looked outward. What followed was a series of military campaigns that would forever change the map of the world. The Mongol army, under his command, was unlike anything the world had seen. They were masters of cavalry warfare. Expert archers who could shoot with deadly accuracy from horseback. Their tactics were sophisticated, using feigned retreats, encirclements, and psychological warfare to shatter their enemies' morale. They also had an incredible communication and supply system known as the Yam. A network of relay stations allowed messages and intelligence to travel across the empire at unprecedented speeds, giving the Mongols a massive strategic advantage. They were not just a mindless horde. They were a highly organized, disciplined, and adaptable military machine. From the kingdoms of northern China to the vast Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia, city after city fell. His conquests were often swift and brutal, a consequence of his policy: submit, and live in peace as part of the empire, or resist and face total destruction. This stark choice led to the fall of great centers of learning and culture, like Samarkand and Bukhara, cementing his fearsome reputation. But to only focus on the destruction is to miss half the story. The Mongol Empire, under Genghis Khan and his successors, ushered in a period known as the Pax Mongolica or Mongol Peace. For the first time in centuries, a vast stretch of Asia was united under one rule. This stability allowed the Silk Road to flourish like never before. Trade boomed, connecting China with Europe in a way that had been impossible before. Goods, ideas, technologies, and cultures flowed freely across the continent. Gunpowder, the printing press, the compass, these innovations made their way to Europe, helping to spark the Renaissance. Genghis Khan's legacy is, without a doubt, complex and controversial. He was a nation builder who brought law and order to a chaotic land. He was a brilliant military strategist who created an unstoppable army. But he was also a conqueror whose campaigns resulted in immense destruction and loss of life. He was a product of his violent time, and he surpassed it in every way imaginable. In 1227, during a campaign against the Tangids in western Jia, Genghis Khan passed away. The exact cause of his death remains a mystery, as does the location of his final resting place, which he wished to keep secret. But his empire did not die with him. He had laid a foundation so strong that his sons and grandsons would continue his expansion, eventually ruling over a territory stretching from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe. From an abandoned boy on the steppe to the ruler of the largest empire in history, Temujin's life is a testament to human will, ambition, and the power of a single, transformative vision. He didn't just conquer the world, he connected it. His story forces us to look beyond simple labels of good and evil and appreciate the monumental forces that shape our history. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the life of Genghis Khan. What part of his story do you find most fascinating? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most compelling figures. We'll see you in the next one.